Greetings, I am the wrestling fan. I may not be the best wrestling fan, but I am the finest. Now, as all of you know, I review wrestling matches and other wrestling-related videos. But there's another form of entertainment in wrestling that I want to focus on for just one video. Books! Does anybody read anymore? The answer is no. But I really don't blame anybody, because I don't read anymore either. Except for wrestling books. I love books about professional wrestling, and there are a ton of them out there. So, that's why for this video, I'm going to name the top 5 wrestling books that I've read, and you should as well, because I told you to. I just realized I probably should have shortened that just a teensy bit, but I'm lazy. Number 5. To Be the Man by Ric Flair. I know that most people are on the I Hate Ric Flair bandwagon, but I still love a great deal of his matches, and his character, and you can't deny it, he had a very illustrious career. So, when I saw that he had an autobiography out, I was curious. Woo! To my surprise, To Be the Man was a very, very hard book to put down. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It even made me wonder why. Now, Ric Flair's life and career are chronicled till about late 2003, early 2004 in this book, and he doesn't really seem to leave anything out. He's very, very candid about his personal life, and of course, the personal relationships he had with a lot of very well-known wrestlers, including Dusty Rhodes, member of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, J.J. Dillon, members of the Four Horsemen that didn't really make much sense, one that I kind of mentioned earlier. He's very open about his many, many, many infidelities, and even a few unknown personal breakdowns. But the one thing that I really love about this wrestling book, about To Be the Man, that kind of, makes it different from other wrestling books, at least at the time, is that, obviously it's an autobiography by Ric Flair, so it's written by him, but there's a lot of quotes in here, like almost every page or every other page, from other wrestlers, from old wrestlers to new wrestlers, his wife, his children, wrestling promoters, managers, just a ton of people talking about Ric Flair, and it adds so much more to an already wonderful book. So, I guess you have to be a Ric Flair fan to want to read this, but honestly, even if you're not, you may want to pick it up. It's a wonderful read. So, I guess all I have to say about this book is it deserves one big woo! Number 4. Have a Nice Day, A Tale of Blood and Sweat Socks by Mick Foley. Now, before you go crazy with rage over this book being number 4 on this top 5 list, I have a confession to make. I actually haven't read this book in about 6 or 7 years.
What?
I know. I've been wanting to reread this book for a really long time now, but I just haven't found the time. But I do remember very vividly that this book is very funny, sometimes depressing, but it's an extremely well-written wrestling autobiography. And just like Ric Flair, Mick Foley doesn't pull any punches about his personal life, from when he was born up until early 1999 when he won his first ever WWF World Championship. He's very, very honest. And, what makes this book so great is Mick Foley's sense of humor. It just comes out through every page. He makes light of most situations, but he's a really funny guy. And I think that's what, caught people off guard. He was kind of becoming a funny character as Mankind, but after reading this book, you realize, damn, this guy is freaking hilarious. And the other cool thing is, this book is 100% written by Mick Foley, as far as I know. He had a legal pad, he had a pen, or pencil, whatever, and he wrote, and he wrote, and he wrote, and he wrote all of this. is completely by him 100%. No outside help. Well, maybe some, but it's mostly him. And that just makes it a much more personal read. You know, there are very few books out there, autobiographies, that are like that, especially the wrestling ones. But I was extremely entertained by reading this book, which is why I want to read it again. I mean, honestly, I was as entertained reading this book as I would be by watching an episode of Monday Night Raw in 1999. Oh, I really, really do miss those days. Have a Nice Day is also seen as the catalyst for what wrestling autobiographies were supposed to be. And you know what? I agree, wholeheartedly. But Have a Nice Day isn't just, a great wrestling autobiography. No. I'm going to take it one step further. Have a Nice Day is a great literary piece of awesome. Yeah, I said it. Deal with it.
Awesome!
Oh, I have to add one more little thing. Have a Nice Day by Mick Foley was the very first wrestling autobiography that I ever purchased, right back in 1999 when it first came out. So Mick Foley, I just want to say thank you, because you got me to read again, right here, in my bedroom. Number 3. The Death of WCW by R.D. Reynolds and Brian Alvarez. Honestly, I actually picked this up randomly from some random bookstore on a random day just a few years ago. Yeah, it was random. And I figured it would, just be a fun little history lesson, a fun little read-through on WCW, and it was. And a shitload more. What we get here is basically the entire, span of WCW, and, the reasons why it succeeded. And, of course, why they failed so miserably. I guess the only downside of this book is that there really aren't that many quotes from wrestlers who were in WCW, or, like Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, people like that, but I actually think that kind of adds to the book. The Death of WCW is written by two guys who are obviously in love with professional wrestling, and they definitely did their research for this. And to their credit, they will give a lot of credit to the really, really good stuff that WCW did. But they also rip the bad stuff in WCW a new asshole. Most of the time, they do it in very hilarious fashion. The Death of WCW is a very accurate retelling of the company that almost put the WWF out of business. And, who shot the first shot in the now infamous Monday Night Wars? Well, some of us forget, and, maybe a personal opinion, but WCW did. Because on the very first episode of Monday Night Nitro, Lex Luger jumped ship from WWF to WCW. First shot. But I would definitely read this. It's a wonderful read. It's extremely hard to put down. And you want to know why? Because this book is just too sweet! No? Okay, how about this? Bang! Number 2. Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling by Bret Hart. Bret Hart will always be one of my all-time favorite professional wrestlers. So when I heard that he had written an autobiography, I basically shit my pants. And then changed into another pair of pants, and then I went out and bought the book. Now, when I got the book, I did notice one thing. It's fucking huge! I mean, look at it! Jesus, Bret, I hope you didn't leave out anything. I was really, really worried that at 600 pages in length, it would be a really slow read. Fortunately for me, I was wrong. This flowed extremely well, and it's not humorous like a Mick Foley book is, so I was a little surprised at how well it flowed. It's basically just a chronicle of Bret Hart's life, from his early life his days in Stampede Wrestling, his early struggles in WWF, and then his success as a tag team with the Hart Foundation, his transformation to a single star, the Montreal Screwjob, death of Owen Hart, his crappy stint in WCW, and a partridge in a pear tree. Now, of course, there was a ton of behind-the-scenes wrestling stories in this book. And I mean, it's a wrestling autobiography. Of course there was a ton of wrestling stories. But because it's Bret Hart, it just made the wrestling geek inside me piss my pants out of joy. But, as with any book, there's always a complaint, and I have a minor one. Bret Hart comes off as kinda preachy, just a little bit, in his book, about how good of a person he was and is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bret does not make himself out to be an angel. He was far from it, like any of us are far from it. But I just got kind of tired of, him tearing apart fellow wrestlers and family members. But, I mean, I didn't know the guy. I don't know the guy. I wasn't there during his life, so maybe it's all true. Everything he said could be 100% accurate. And maybe Bret Hart really was the Jesus Christ of professional wrestling. No, I didn't say Cheez-Its Christ. I said Jesus Christ. Oh. All right, I'll do it once. Cheez-Its Christ! Overall, this book is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Oh. Except for my number one pick. Sorry, Bret. And my number one pick is A Lion's Tale, Around the World in Spandex by Chris Jericho. Holy poop. This is where the party's at. This isn't just one of my, all-time favorite wrestling books, autobiographies, whatever. This has become one of my favorite books ever. Ever! A Lion's Tale is a fantastic story of a young kid with a dream, to become a professional wrestler. And because of hard work, dedication, and a wicked sense of humor, he fulfills that dream. And, of course, A Lion's Tale is chock full of Chris Jericho's razor-sharp wit that will most of the time have you pissing your pants with laughter. But honestly, why I love this book so much is because of its message. And I guess most of these wrestling autobiographies, they do have a message, but it just seemed more apparent in this one. If you work your ass off to achieve your goals, surprisingly, you're probably going to get there. Sometimes you may not get exactly what you wanted, but you're going to achieve something, and you could end up like Chris Jericho. He's achieved basically every dream that he ever wanted, and it's all chronicled in this book. Now, I don't want to ruin too much. I don't want to give away much of the contents. I mean, as most of you probably know Chris Jericho's career, but it goes from his early life and then covers his entire wrestling life up until his debut with the WWF in 1999. This is a must read for any wrestling fan. Honestly, I'm going to go one step further. And I may be going over the line here, but I think this is a must-read for anybody. So, thank you, Chris Jericho. Thank you. You're the best. I mean, the best. So there you go. Those are the top 5 wrestling books that I've read, and you should as well, because I told you to. Wait, did I tell you to read these books? Well, if I didn't, I'm going to tell you right now. Read them. It's that simple. Just go get them and read them. Right now. Go! What the hell are you waiting for? Come on, peepers and peepetters. You deaf? Oh, wait, I forgot. You gotta wait for my video to end first. God bless your loyalty. Alright, well, so you can get to reading, I'm gonna end this video. Right... Nah! Gotcha, didn't I? Okay. I'll end this video... Nah! Right... Nah! Nah, 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 nah. That's just fun. I'm having so much fun. Okay, okay. Enough jokes. Okay, I'm serious. This video is now over. Nah. Oh, this is so much fun. Hey! My credits do not roll until I tell them to roll, you dumb motherfucker. Oh, God damn. Oh, you stupid